Hello there. Welcome to episode 4 of Deth-N-Vengeance. With me this week, finally, is
Got Eddie Gein.
And Majin Drew. We are back.
I missed him.
Finally.
I missed him.
Unfortunately.
I had to do the last episode by myself, and it fucking sucked, to be honest. So
Look, he's just depressed because my mouth wasn't on his cock again.
Nigga, you gay.
Anyways, no,
I'll tell you what, son, you're about as gay as a $3 bill. You know?
like John had said in the last episode, we had like scheduling conflicts. Apparently, our job just decided, hey, look, we're gonna stick the pole up your side of the ass right here.
Yeah.
But anyways, we are back finally again. 3 guys here just to talk about the
3
shit
guys,
that's
1
on their
girl.
head.
3 girls, 3 guys, 1 girl, 1 camera, 2 cups, and
Some peanut butter.
A big ass TV.
Anyways, like I said, guys, we are here. We're just 3 regular guys who just like to talk nostalgia in general, right? So today's nostalgia thing that we are going to do on this glorious episode 4, because like a new hope, we begin a new trial. So here we go. John, what's today's episode about?
Well, I'm glad you said episode 4 because we're going to be talking about wrestling, and anybody who watches wrestling know what this stands for. 2 in the pink, 1 in the stink. No, the 4 horsemen. Woo! Woo! Styling, profiling, limousine riding, son of a gun. If you haven't figured it out by now, we're going to be talking about wrestling. So
Wrestling.
I know me and Eduardo are really huge fans. Andrew,
I am a fan. I grew up watching wrestling, but I grew up around the 90s era. I believe the true wrestling era. I love Raw because it was really like uncensored shit, bro. Because like they'll let you cuss on Raw, and they wouldn't bleep it out. But now like they're being little pansy bitches and succumbing to the world of
well, they refer to it as the Attitude Era.
the attitude era.
When there was bra and panty matches and blood was you can see blood. Now they only should bring out the blood element like on special occasions, but
Like Hell in the Cell.
which I get it. You know, we had a lot of dumbass kids. Hey, Jim, let's throw ourselves off the fucking roof and see what happens. You know, and those backyard wrestling and
I guess that, and also like it's like to make the pay-per-view like some kind of a bigger event. Like say if you had a Hell in a Cell match like every Friday or whatnot or whatever.
Which we all know we don't have to like watch every fucking pay-per-view of wrestling. We can just watch WrestleMania, the main pay-per-view event that we always hope for at the beginning of the new year. I mean, I always look forward to fucking WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to go there one day. I don't care what cock I have to suck or like how bad I have to get money to get the tickets, but I would love to see a WrestleMania live.
call me crazy, but I don't think you have to perform fellatio. I can buy you a ticket.
I'm that poor people. I'm sorry.
They got this thing called the internet and like eBay and Ticketmaster.
We should all try to go together like
they don't
Rumble or like,
they don't require a dick sucking to get a ticket. You can just buy one.
Well, how about this? How about like we save up our money, WrestleMania. We try to do a live podcast. Try to get as many numbers. If you can subscribe right now, let's try to hit over 100 subscribers at least.
Help us to help you.
And so that way we can give you more content, live shows, and greater things. Also, we can show you how Ed Gein kills people and rates them.
Wait. Not
allegedly.
Not necessarily in that order.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. I'm sorry. Ed Gein was on trial for allegedly murdering people.
I'll tell you what, man.
Anyways, John.
I'll tell you what, that boy ain't right.
I got a country bumpkin coming down right now. Man, what's that my fucking motherfucker? Yeah. Anyways, John, we are going to be talking wrestling. What is the first thing you want to talk about wrestling? What draws you?
We're going to be talking about wrestling and then wrestling.
So, what do you remember growing up and watching wrestling?
I grew up watching wrestling in the 80s before you kids were born.
Like early nostalgia.
And I used to watch it I spent a lot of time with my grandparents that lived next door, and my grandfather would watch Telemundo or some of those channels, and they would have wrestling on there. So I thought I would watch like the Von Erichs, which I don't know if y'all probably don't remember the Von Erichs and like a lot of stuff.
The documentaries.
And from the Von Erichs. Also, they're from Texas, so of course here in Texas they would show a lot of the independent wrestling shows from that area, from that era.
A lot of them are dead, actually, right?
Yeah, most of them, except for like one.
I think there's some still trying to like cake it to make it again in the mainstream.
Yeah, if you guys don't know about the Von Erich story about the family, it's pretty tragic. A lot of the brothers died. So like, if you ever get a chance to check those out, like I think on the WWE Network or even on YouTube for free, they have like the untold story or whatever of the Von Erichs and stuff, and it's pretty interesting and pretty tragic to watch. But yeah, that's how I got started watching wrestling, and then that kind of evolved as well. I watched WWF at the time, World Wrestling Federation. Now it's WWE, and then also with the WCW, its early stages before it actually became WCW. It was actually WCCW, World Class Championship Wrestling, and then they cut off one of the C's and just called it World Championship Wrestling when Ted Turner took over on TBS. But yeah, so I grew up since I can remember just watching wrestling.
I remember WCW being on TNT.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's what I remember. I would watch WCW because I was a big fan of.
It started out on TBS, the Superstation, and then eventually, it was, I guess, purchased by TNT. Was when they had like the whole Monday Nitro and all that stuff, and
when Monday Night Wars
and Thunder was on like Thursday nights because WWE had Raw on Mondays, and then they had Nitro on Mondays, and then they had Thunder on Thursdays, and then WWE had SmackDown on Thursday. So that was that whole, well, yeah, we got a show on Thursday. Well, fuck, we got a show on Thursday,
Well, basically, it's like sibling rivalry between both.
And in the end, of course, obviously in the future that Vince McMahon would be victorious.
And then what was it? Shane McMahon bought out WCW, and then what? Vince bought out WCW.
Well, the ratings were pretty like the last few, maybe like 6 months of WCW when it was still on was just really bad. I mean, they had Vince Russo was the main writer, and he was just, and there was no control. Everybody would just, whoever, I literally think they fucking flipped a coin and said, all right, hey, guess what? Disco Inferno, you're going to win this title tonight. And
I think the only thing keeping them afloat was NWO.
Pretty much the NWO, but even by then, the NWO was like old news because when the NWO first came out, and there was only like a handful of members, that was cool. But then towards the end, it was like everybody was NWO, and it was like, okay, well, that doesn't work because you need the whole, like, for example, like in the Marvel and DC universe, you have the villains and you have the heroes. If you have all villains and like no heroes, then it's like, okay, well, you don't have a fucking show because everybody's either, you have to have that baby face versus the, the heels, and stuff.
But that's why they made anti-heroes.
Yeah, and then they had like David Arquette winning the belt and
ready to rumble and shit.
Jeff Jarrett, I think, and then
Sting, I remember Sting was the champion.
Booker T.
Hey, I was a big fan of fucking Booker T.
Five-time.
Can you take it, sucker? I think they said, here, get some marbles and some sperm, put it in your mouth, and then, all right, now do your promo. Yo, Shawn Michaels, let me tell you something. No. Shucky Ducky, quack, quack.
Vampiro, I think. I remember Vampiro.
Yeah, he's come out with the Misfits. Little things like that. I was like, oh, cool. Then I'd be like, oh, the segment's over? Okay, never mind.
I remember there was one episode, I forgot who he was wrestling. Vampiro came out with ICP. I think they were like big fans of him or something. I don't know. But I remember watching that. I forgot who he was wrestling. I want to say Rey Mysterio.
Probably. I think around that time, I was more WWE. I mean, I was always WWE, so it was more of like I would watch WCW just to kind of see what they were doing. And like I said, when the first NWO group came out, it was new and fresh and cool. But like I said, that kind of lost its, after a while. So,
did you ever watch any Mexican stuff?
Yeah, I
remember growing up. My dad would watch a lot of like lucha libre stuff, like MCLL.
Yeah, I used to watch that stuff too, because they would have that, and then there was another channel. Of course, this is the '80s, so we only had like fucking 12 channels, so it wasn't.
That's kind of how I got into wrestling, like with the whole lucha libre thing that my dad used to watch.
Yeah. And
then we started watching WWF and stuff like that.
Yeah, and then like towards the late '80s, we start back when I guess maybe mid to late '80s we got this beautiful invention called cable in our house, and we had those channels that the pay-per-view channels, and I don't know what it was, but at the time it was a thing called Cable Max. I don't know if anybody remembers that, but it was a big ass fucking 20-foot pole on top of your house with a little like antenna thing, and one of the channels is if you bought the pay-per-view they would show it. But one time we would flip through that channel to get to the channels that we could watch, and every now and again we're like, whoa, what's that? We'll go back. And it's like, is that the WWF Royal Rumble? And we would sit there and watch free pay-per-views sometimes because they would, I guess, fuck up and and we wouldn't pay for it. We watch free pay-per-views and stuff.
So before they started charging. Like
no. They were charging at the time, but I guess I don't know if it was just maybe a flaw with their system. But I remember a lot of times we watched like WrestleMania 6, 7, 8. We watched like Royal Rumble, Survivor Series, but it wasn't all the time. So sometimes it'd be like, oh cool, Bash at the Beach, WCW. And then it's cool, it's Survivor Series and stuff. But sometimes it'd be nothing this week, nothing this month, whatever. But sometimes they would fuck up, and so we watch a lot of free pay-per-views. But yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I would watch them too because we got the hookup from one of my dad's cable friends. And
you mean Skinamax?
We got that bootleg that pirate box or whatever.
Oh yeah,
watch all the pay-per-views for free.
So like Skinamax.
That was an added bonus.
Yeah.
Hey, for extra, your son's gonna enjoy something.
No, see, there's a process to doing that when you're a kid. See, you got to have a channel on backup in case your parents wake up in the middle of the night and want to go to the bathroom or something. So you have to switch. Oh no, I'm watching this show. They're selling knives. If you buy 200 knives, you get those ones free. If you buy the knives, they got knives.
I don't know about y'all, but have y'all ever? I know I did this as a kid, like because we used to sleep in the living room and the TV was there, and I would always sneak it on, and so I can watch whatever's on TV. But I used to do the fucking blanket shit. Pretend like I'm Batman. Put the blanket over me, turn it on, and just be like.
And then he would tuck his wiener between his legs and be like, "Will you fuck me? Or fuck me?" And it's all, I don't know what pain is. And it's all like a cooking show. First you get the dough, you put it in the oven. After you eat it, and he's all like, "Yeah, talk dirty to me, baby."
Yes, that was my childhood at the age of 5.
Anyway,
what would you say is your favorite wrestler then?
That's a hard one because I can give you my top 3. Ultimate Warrior, just because he was just I liked him when he first came out, and then what really sealed the deal was WrestleMania 6 when he beat Hulk Hogan for the title, and I remember that was one of the ones I watched on that when I got the illegal pay-per-view, and that I remember me and my cousins just sitting there watching it, and it just like was like the best thing because you gotta understand at the time Hulk Hogan was like at the top of the pyramid. Everybody, Hulk Hogan, Hulkamaniacs, eat your prayers, eat your vitamins, say your prayers, and all that shit, and everything was Hulkamaniac, and then just to see him get knocked off his pedestal was really cool.
What song did he have as the intro? Because he had several. He had Voodoo Child.
Who?
Hulk Hogan.
Oh, he had that Real American.
Yeah. I'm a real American hero.
No, that was G.I. Joe.
No, never.
Fight for your life.
Fight for what's right. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah.
I remember him coming out with Voodoo Child, but I want to say that's like pretty like later on in the years.
I think you're thinking of Thunder Lips. No, I'm just kidding. And then it would be Jake the Snake, just because.
Jake the Snake Roberts.
Just because his whole attitude, like walking to the ring, he had those eyes where he would just fucking stare down, like, he wasn't the biggest, strongest wrestler, but he was fucking, like cool. His whole like, and then his interviews were like, haven't been matched to this day. I mean, I don't know. I mean, a lot of people say, The Rock has the best interviews, but I mean, Jake the Snake would just sit there and just, off the top of his head, just fucking go off for like a 5-minute, segment and just leave everybody with their mouths open because it was so good.
I remember the match between Macho Man Randy Savage and Jake the Snake where Macho Man actually got really bit by his snake that he brought out.
Yeah, I remember seeing that on a WWE Wrestling Challenge on a Saturday morning, and it was what it was a devenomized or defanged snake, cobra. And I remember seeing it as a kid and be like, oh my God, the Macho Man's dead. And he got bit by a fucking king cobra. Like, he's dead. That's it. He's dead. And then, of course, as a kid, you don't realize, that's fake. They can't really kill people on the, for real. But yeah, that was pretty impactful. Like, you know, but and then my third would be like the Undertaker, just because he's been for a while and like he's just, you know,
Like he's still going. I don't know why Undertaker. Like, I mean, I love Undertaker. He had like the greatest, one of the greatest intros in the world. It would strike fear into the opponents because you would always look at them and they would just be like, just looking around wide-eyed. I'm all like, oh my god, where's it at? Where is he? He's right there. But he had one of the most captivating. I remember watching this shit as a kid. Like he had one of the most captivating intros ever. And I think everybody's all like, you know, trying to compare him and Kane together. Like their intros were good. But I honestly say Undertaker had the best intro.
Especially with Paul Bearer.
Exactly. Paul Bearer was like phenomenal. How was his voice? I think you can do his voice.
oh yeah, it's Undertaker. You know,
My son.
Percy Pringle, he's been in the business for a long time.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace, Percy Pringle. But yeah, it actually brings me to a funny story. When we were kids, me and my brother would play wrestling and stuff. And I had the CDs of the wrestling music, you know, the Full Metal. So we would do the fucking intros. We would put it on and it'd be like, you know, Shawn Michaels, whatever. And I did one where I was the Undertaker that night, and I was coming out, and my fucking little brother Jeremy, if you're watching this little butthole, he put thumbtacks on the floor. So I'm walking in, I'm all, no, what was that? No, that with the thumbtacks, I was the Ultimate Warrior. So I'm all, and I was coming running to the room. And we had the little camera going on and stuff. And I'm running. Next thing you know, I'm like, ah! And like, what happened? I got like fucking 5 thumbtacks in my little brother. I'm like the asshole.
Yo, if you still have that footage, can we like have it for the show?
It was like on my sister's little Barbie camera. I don't know if we still do, but and then another one. I was gonna be the Undertaker that night, so I'm coming to the ring and the music's playing, and I drop down to one knee and I go, dude. I put my head up like he did. Next thing you know, my brother just looks at me and goes. He slams the door in my fucking hand, and I was like, ah!
Speaking of the Undertaker, I would probably put him as my number one favorite wrestler. He had so many good matches.
He had so many great moves. Oh, that rivalry!
That was like one of the best matches. I'd probably put.
I want to say, what was it, like a couple Mondays ago? They had like everybody was chanting one more match between Shawn Michaels and Undertaker. One more match. But you know, I was kind of brokenhearted because Shawn Michaels didn't want to do one more match. But I was also glad because like the last match I saw him and Undertaker go at it, it was just too brutal. It was just like it was hard because like I wanted to cry.
That phrase "fight forever."
Yes,
that really went a long way with that match.
Yeah. Plus, you know, right now like the Undertaker is kind of. I don't want to be the one to say, but you know, he's a little brittle these days. You know, he can't.
He's a
really,
lot slower. He can't.
Yeah, because I mean, he's been wrestling for goddamn 35 years or however long he's been wrestling, and so
it does take a toll.
I mean, there's people that retire after like wrestling for 10 years because of the body, the punishment the body takes. So imagine 35, 40 years, however long he's been doing it. You know, I remember seeing him debut at Survivor Series. No, I'm sorry. Survivor Series. He was on the Ted DiBiase's. He was his secret, like last team member, and he came out with Brother Love, Bruce Pritchard's character, Brother Love, and pretty much dominated everybody in that fucking match. I think the only reason why he lost was he got counted out because he was beating the shit out of people outside the ring. But and this was like the early 90s, like 91, and here we are, like 2018. Almost 2019, he's still wrestling, so that's a lot. But then he was actually wrestling. He was in WCW, and he had been wrestling already before that. So I mean, you know, he figured he's been wrestling since like 86, 85, 87, like in Independence, and then until he finally got into the mainstream. But you know, that's a long ass time to be wrestling. So you know, he figured he's got to be brittle at this point. You know.
But I would say probably my number 2 would be CM Punk.
Oh,
he's such a good wrestler. That pipe bomb promo, that just launched him into a whole nother level whenever that dropped.
CM Punk had like the greatest words ever to speak, and
he was such a good promo.
He was, and like what was it? I think I heard that podcast he did, where he was talking about him and Triple H. How Triple H was supposed to win, but CM Punk said, you know, fuck that. I'm going to do it. This is me. This is my time. I want to be on the spotlight. I mean, like, I'm not trying to say CM Punk is kind of dickish, but he's not.
He's kind of a dick.
Yeah.
Well, and like, I don't know, like in personality, yeah, I don't know. Outside the ring, I don't know, but probably like in the ring, yeah,
He's a
is
good
kind of a
worker.
dick. I remember him being quiet and with the long hair. That's it. Like I remember him being quiet, not saying anything, and just fighting, and always doing that. Is like, and he was always promoting straight edge all the time.
Yeah.
But
I think even back in his Ring of Honor days, he was still like.
It was funny when I
straight.
first saw him. I was like, "Oh, that dude's probably like a drug addict, like whatever." And then he's like, "I'm straight edge." I'm like, "What the fuck is that?" And somebody had to explain to me, like, "Oh, you don't do drugs, you know that." And I was like, "Okay." I didn't know what straight edge was. Sorry.
When he had his debut in ECW against Justin Incredible, I was like, the match was okay, but yeah, it just kind of like it showed how much support he had.
Yeah.
Like even then, like, and even like still now, anytime like you see like a WWE show, you always hear CM Punk chants and stuff. So yeah.
Let me ask you this question. I know everybody most people are in agreement that he'll never, ever, 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 ever appear in WWE ever again. But honestly, I think that somewhere down the road, like, because they said that about Hulk Hogan, he's never going to come back. The Ultimate Warrior, they said the same thing. Oh, he's never going to come back. Vince doesn't want him back, or he doesn't want to come back, or whatever. And then
it was also Bret Hart too. Like,
yeah, and so I mean, it took a while. It took like 15, 20 years, but then all of a sudden it's like, oh, welcome back, the Ultimate Warrior. Let's put him in the Hall of Fame and design an award to give out to people, the Warrior Award, and
the Ultimate Connor. What was his name? The little kid that
Connor's Cure.
Yeah, Connor's Cure, the Ultimate Warrior.
The Warrior Award. They give it out to like
special.
Yeah, so I mean, and then if you think about it, if you would ask somebody like 10 years before that, if that would ever happen, they would look at you and be like, "You're fucking stupid. They're never gonna give the Ultimate Warrior his own award. They're never gonna fucking make him the number one Hall of Fame pick for that year. Ever. He'll never be this, never be that."
I think one of the wrestlers that I liked back in the Raw era was China. And she would never. I mean, rest in peace, China. She had passed away, but she would never be in the Hall of Fame. I think because Triple H screwed her out or something.
Well, she did porn,
she did porn. No, I remember watching the video. Triple H did something that screwed her out of her championship, or out of like. I think it's because when Triple H got married to Stephanie McMahon, him and China were together for a while.
Yeah, and
then X-Pac jumped into that thing, and then like I guess she went out of wrestling. And I know she never wanted to do porn in general, but she did it because she needed the money to make up for what she has lost.
I think that also reason why I think she did porn was she got typecast as this manly, like oh, that's a dude. No, it's not. It's a chick. No, I think it's a dude. Kind of, where she kind of lost that whole like feeling like a woman, that I'm sexy, whatever. So I guess maybe she probably went the wrong way. She could have been like a model or maybe gone a different route. But I think she's like, porn. I was like,
But I remember after she did porn, she went to Japan and she actually taught over there.
I don't know about that, but she does have a lot of education. I think what was it? She has a degree in what is it? It's like if you I forgot what it is that she has a degree in, but if you tell somebody, oh, dude, she has a degree in like social sciences, you're like, China, social, you don't really associate that with her because
I mean, we still live in lift an eyebrow to know that Kane is a freaking mayor of a state.
Yeah, for the town.
Really freaking smart.
Yeah, and like. But I mean, that's just characters that we see in the ring. We don't really know what they look like.
I think what WWE's afraid that they're gonna put her in the Hall of Fame, and then kids are gonna go, "Oh, let me Google China." And it's gonna say, "Ooh, backdoor to China."
Or
let me see what that is.
China.
Yeah, and it's like gee, that's the new WWE Hall of Famer getting a pee-pee in her bunghole.
But in honest truth, like we don't want to start like any like disputes or disputes between WWE and their choices of who should be in the Hall of Fame and who should not.
There's one person they'll never put on there. It's Benoit.
Oh,
Chris
And he
Benoit.
was such a good wrestler, though. He was amazing. I mean, I cried when he won the championship. And the same night, Eddie Guerrero won the championship. And it was like a glorious moment because they came out like two brothers hugging and crying and just cheering on.
When they started out like in the like early '90s, there's like cruiserweights and like different wrestling organizations. Like I think they were in ECW. Then eventually, that's how it usually started. You got your start in ECW, and then Paul Heyman or who would be like, "Hey man, I got this fucking kid. His name's whatever." And then WCW would be like, "Hey, well we'll give him a tryout," and they would bring him over. And the next thing you know, WCW would offer him a contract and stuff. And that's usually how it worked at the time. So if they didn't get in with WWE, they would get in with WCW. And honestly, a lot of the times, I think they went with WCW because they were looking for talent a little bit more. So they made a little bit more of an effort to sign wrestlers. WWE was a little more like, all right, we want you to dress up like a trash can, like a trash man, or a clown.
Or Viscera, like coming out in a big freaking overcoat, a leather overcoat.
Yeah, with his titties flapping around. But yeah, so yeah, they kind of came up together, him and Eddie Guerrero. Honestly, if you would have told me back when I remember watching when they're doing their little cruiserweight, like my favorite match was when Eddie Guerrero wrestled Rey Mysterio in WCW for the first time. It was like 90, was it 95, 96, something like that?
Oh, I think I remember hearing that because it was two legendary wrestling.
Rey Mysterio was wearing the purple suit with the little question marks on it. And I remember watching that match, and I was like, oh my god, this is fucking badass. Like it was a long match, like at the time, like I think it was like a 15 or 16-minute match, but man, it was fucking good. Like it was from beginning to end, it was just awesome. And to think that both of them would go on, all three of them, Chris Benoit, Rey Mysterio, and Eddie Guerrero, go on to win the world championship, like heavyweight championship. That just blows my mind, like that they started out from the bottom and made it all the way to the top, and stuff. And
so, John, your top three were again
Jake the Snake, Ultimate Warrior, and Undertaker.
My top three: Undertaker.
CM Punk. You didn't come up with a third one.
I don't think we heard
the third one. It'd be either a toss-up between AJ Styles and Kenny Omega. So AJ Styles, his whole run is in a better word, phenomenal. He was in Ring of Honor for a while.
Yeah.
TNA, Impact,
TNA, New Japan. He was in there for a while. Most famously with the Bullet Club, and then now in SmackDown, he's a face that runs the place. He's just a really good worker. I don't know if you remember that one match he had with James Ellsworth.
Oh,
he was gonna do the Styles Clash on him.
Yeah.
And James Ellsworth, his dumbass, tucks his neck in, and AJ Styles has a whole ring awareness to put his leg down, and then saves him from fucking getting his neck broken. Just stuff like that.
No, that's good. Yeah, because like Goldberg, he's a great Hall of Fame wrestler.
Like, he didn't give a fuck.
Yeah,
I think wasn't there one match on WCW? Goldberg comes out, and everybody's like Goldberg, and out of nowhere he just spears the motherfucker like hardcore, and then knocks him out and wins. Like, I think he had the fastest.
The reason why he had those quick matches was because he couldn't wrestle for shit. So they couldn't have him in a long 10-minute, 12-minute match because he couldn't last that long. He was good at, those little 3.5-minute matches, where he comes in, spears the guy, picks him up, jackhammer, pins him, and it's like, all right, that was 48 seconds. Good job. I think if he had a minute and a half in a match, that was a long ass match,
Okay, so we went through y'all's three. All right, so my top three, I know I'm probably gonna get a lot of shit from some people, including these two.
Hey, Eduardo, if he says something bad, give me the whooping spoon.
Anyways, so my top threes are gonna be, of course, Shawn Michaels. I was a big fan of HBK, like just the whole theme song coming out. I think I'm king. I know I'm sexy. Like that whole thing, like. And just to see HBK like get riled up like kick up to his feet, go to the corner of the ring, and just stomp. And you're counting with him like how many stomps, and it's usually what 5 stomps, and he goes in for that beautiful sweet chin music. But I think like one of his greatest sweet chin music was always with Shelton Benjamin and him. They first match. Where spoilers, if you watch the end, you'd see Shelton Benjamin climb up on the top rope, springs off, about to do a crossbody, and out of nowhere, bam, just a sweet chin music to the face and laid the fuck out. Like I remember seeing the fans going.
I think the only thing cooler than that is the chin music off the top rope was I think it was what's his face what was that little dude that used to do that shooting star press?
Evan Bourne.
Evan Bourne, when he did that shooting star press, and then what's his name? Randy Orton was on the floor laying down. He just jumps up and when he does
mid-air cut.
Yeah, because he's got to spring up from a laying down position and then wait for him to come a full rotation on that shooting star press, and then do the timing where he jumps up. Yeah, I mean, other than that, I mean those things like when it was one of a kind, like holy shit, I didn't see that happening.
Well, of course, he was a big fan. I was a big fan of him, as well as I don't know if I can say them because it's like 3 people in one, but Too Cool and Rikishi. Yeah, those are my favorite tag team.
You know what? We'll give you that one. That'll be one.
Technically, because like they didn't really have that much personality.
But it was like just too funny. Those two guys, Too Cool, like coming out, Grandmaster Sexay, and I forgot the other one's name. They were just come out dancing. Rikishi will finish the match himself, and they were just like egging him on to dance. And then lights go down, you see him, and then like just like dancing.
Jerry Lawler's son.
Yeah.
Rest in peace too.
Yeah, he passed away too.
Yeah.
But okay, so that was your second one.
All right, my third. God, it's kind of hard. It's a real big toss-up, honest truth. It's between Stone Cold.
We'll get the third choice. You can pick 2 people, and it'll count as one. We'll give you that one.
That's what I did too.
Yeah.
Dudley Boys. I was a big fan of the Dudley Boys. Like just them putting everybody through a fucking table was like magical.
To this day, we still do that. He'd be like, John,
get the tables!
And like, oh, my brother, testify. Because I don't know if you know, sometimes I look like Bubba Ray with a bald head. So
anyway. Gets that crazy look in his eyes.
Anytime he sees the table.
But he's with, what's her name? From TNA, what's that girl?
Isn't it Hulk Hogan's daughter?
No. Not Madison Rain. Velvet Sky.
Oh, okay.
Not Velvet Sky's the other one. Anyway. I never would have saw that in a million years. Bubba Ray with a hot chick. Okay. But she's like one of those. She reminds me of those single moms that I'm just looking for a guy to help me raise my son.
I mean, in honest truth, I would probably pick Samoa Joe, but unfortunately, I'm not picking Samoa Joe. I think he's a good wrestler, but when he was in TNA, he was fucking brutal. Like now I see him in WWE, I'm just like, bro, I remember you used to make people scared to be in the ring with you. And he would do the muscle buster. That was my favorite move from him doing, just like grabbing them like that and just like strong arming them and just falling back real hard. And like now, like you kind of see him be a little sluggish. You see him taking his time. Like I remember Joe was just like Goldberg, just like in and out.
I remember watching TNA when it first came out, like the first few shows, like. And yeah, he was one of him, and I like AJ Styles and stuff.
They had a great story arc.
The 3, yeah, and then like it was them 2, and then Abyss were the 3 that I remember mostly from, and then like Christopher Downs and stuff, and like
Abyss across from Undertaker and Mankind.
Yeah, but I think ever since he almost killed Tyson Kidd with the muscle buster, because Tyson Kidd's a puss. Yeah, he hasn't been doing it as much because of that whole like.
Yeah, but they let Seth Rollins come back with the stomp.
Yeah, the curb stomp. I think they banned it for a little while, but then they'll be like.
Yeah, they banned the curb stomp because it was like really dangerous.
Mainly because of the name. The connotation behind
that with the movie with American History X. they're like, oh, they might see it as a hate thing, especially if you do it to a black person, and it's like, okay, well, I don't want to touch that. So they were like, all right, well, I'll just change my finisher. I'll take Triple H's, and shit.
The pedigree.
That, and then for a while he did what was it, like the knee, right?
Yeah,
that bullshit.
Until he broke John Cena's nose that one match. I don't remember what match it was, but
look, if you break John Cena's nose, we all know that's fucking career suicide because what's one of the characters that he killed off that was actually under him? Something Riley.
Alex Riley.
Alex Riley is no longer a wrestler because he fucked over John Cena, as John Cena puts it. But let's be reality, like it was just a little fluke, a little mistake. But John Cena, like everybody, I met John Cena once. He was doing a signing in my hometown in Corpus Christi at Best Buy, right there on SPID. If people from Corpus Christi knows, I know.
I'm from Corpus.
Jefferson
Street.
Not on Jefferson Street, but Marguerite first. But anyways, like he was nice, but like now, like when you see him grow up, he's actually a dick.
Well, he was nice because you're paying him.
Oh yeah, we're paying to like listen to his. Yeah, I was there when his album came out.
You're like, sir, can I get a picture with you, an autograph? And he's like, $20. And you're like, okay, cool. And then he's all like,
I never took a picture with him.
And next thing you know, it's like, son, can you turn on the camera? And it's like Dutch Rudder on the Johnson.
You got to give him credit because he does a lot of stuff for Make-A-Wish.
Yeah. But what's funny, I don't know if you ever watched the Total Divas show.
Yeah, I watched it.
When he was on the episodes, and like that was the most uncomfortable. I would not want to be in John Cena's house or hang out with him at his house.
Oh, his rules.
Yeah, he's like, at every day at 7:00 sharp, you will meet down for dinner, and you will be dressed in your Sunday best with tie, shirt, like iron press. And he's like, then afterwards, the men will retire to my dick sucking room where we'd suck on cigars and drink brandy, and the girls will have tea and coffee in the other room. I was like, really? Like, that's a fucking rule? What if I don't want to have fucking a brandy and a cigar?
What if I want tea in your
little fucking goofy ass biscotti room? Maybe I want to go take a shit or something after the meal. I don't know, and these, but yeah, just all these rules, which is like, I don't want to be here. Yeah,
stupid. It's just like being a prisoner.
I understand you want to take care of your house because you came up with, maybe not, with a lot of money, so you have this big ass mansion.
And this whole idea of him, like he was married before, and then the girl screwed him over. Like maybe the girl actually did screw him over, but in reality, like you owe me for all that shit you did. Like why not? Like. I mean, I don't want to bash, fuck it. I'm bashing John Cena. I don't give a shit if you're fans of him. Whatever, we all know that he comes out whenever he wants to come out. He only does it when he's getting paid.
But honestly, I think, everybody has a little bit of weirdness to him. But yeah, like Eddie said, he does do a lot for charity. So I mean, you got to give it up for that. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people don't, like.
I mean, yeah, it's good to do charity.
How many wishes now does he have? Like 400 wishes or something like that.
But it seems like
how many survived though?
All they got an AA adjustment to the body.
That'd be messed up. My son's last request before we lay him on the ground for you to go. Cancer.
No.
But anyways,
no, that's too morbid.
Too soon.
It was my son's last request.
But anyways, what were y'all's favorite moves ever done? I know mine. Is always going to be the switching music. As a fat kid, I inspired to do switching music. Let's just say I can barely
it's a really easy move too.
Well, I mean, how high can you get your leg up? Can you get it to the chin or to the shin?
I don't know, probably midsection right here.
Like you'd be like kneecap, cat. Ah,
you know how it's done too, right?
Yeah.
They slap their thigh to make it sound like it's a lot more effective than it is. So pretty much all it is just.
But now, like you see other people actually like.
But I think what he means is the whole like.
That whole build-up. Nobody does the build-up. Everybody just like goes for it.
Or sometimes they're wrestling and like, oh my gosh, Sean's like he goes against the ropes and all of a sudden he just like, lands it really quick, like no stomp or anything.
So
just,
we have to go with HBK's switching.
Yeah.
Because all the other super kicks are kind of, it's like
everybody does a super kick. Like Jay and Jimmy Uso do the super kick. Fucking Kevin Owens does a fucking super kick.
Does Rollins does a super kick?
Yeah.
But
Dolph Ziggler does a super kick.
Yeah.
What you call it? But actually, another move that I like is Undertaker's. Where he climbs up. No. When he climbs up to the top
the rope walk
and the crown. right
Old
there.
school.
When he walks
Hell
on the
yeah.
rope, that was pretty cool. Like,
How do you do? He would grab you by your hand, walk to the thing.
He's going old school.
It's so like, hey, gah! Just off the top rope. That motherfucker's what, 6'something"?
6'9", 6'10".
And then he's doing a fucking.
It's more of a signature move, though. The
Exactly.
tombstone power driver, you can see that actually being like, oh shit, like that's gonna like end your career or whatever. Because he drops you on your fucking neck. He doesn't.
Didn't Jerry King Lawler end someone's career?
No, it was the power driver was banned just because
It broke someone's neck.
Well, a lot of people did that because it depends on the size of your thighs. Because basically, what it's supposed to be is that you're supposed to look, you're dropping them on their head, but really their shoulders are protected by the thighs. But sometimes, like if you see the one where Owen Hart almost crippled Stone Cold when he gave him that puck, you can see the bottom of his thighs, and then you can see Stone Cold's head like way down here. So that's why it was kind of botched. Like like the Undertaker's tombstone. I don't want to ruin it for everybody out there, but if you ever watch it up close, like when he does the fall, he falls to his knees, and the head is like this far from the ground. So there's
ever touch.
Yeah, I mean, it looks dangerous. It looks like the most dangerous pile driver ever because it's, oh my God, he's just driving him down.
But also that's why Undertaker, his knees have to take the hit.
Yeah, that's why he walks all
like slowish.
Yeah. My favorite, well, it's the one that always like sticks out to me. I think it's because back in the '80s when I first saw it, and just also there's, I don't say controversy, but how he created it was the DDT from Jake the Snake.
Oh.
Because the way he tells that he came up with the move, and that he had a guy in a front face lock, and the guy that he was working with was known for being really clumsy. So he trips over his own feet, and it makes Jake the Snake trip, and he still has a hold of him. So he falls down and like lands on him, and the crowd goes wild because they're like, "Oh shit!" Like it looked like he meant to do that, and then he saw that they had a big pop, and so since then he would use that DDT and stuff. So I would say the DDT was the first like finisher that I ever like was like, yeah, DDT, because he would just throw it like, almost like how Randy Orton's RKO. Now he would just be like wrestling somebody, all of a sudden you would just see him like real quick just do the kick to the stomach and then the DDT, and just I don't know, I just thought that was really cool.
I would probably have to say for mine, I'm gonna go with something new, with Kenny Omega's One Wing Angel. I don't know if you've ever seen it. Pretty much what it is, it's an electric chair. He puts you on top of his shoulders. He grabs you by the neck, and then he flips you like that. So it's pretty much like a electric chair.
Frontward electric chair drop kind of.
Overhead, like a slam kind of thing.
It
just looks really cool whenever he does it.
Yeah, that's hard to describe because electric chair drop is when they pick him up and they fall back with him, but to thing him forward, that's almost like an electric chair with a fireman's carry.
Yeah.
Kind of, or.
I just like how the way it looks. Like, I don't think anyone's tapped out, or like
kicked out from
it. But if you ever see any of his stuff, check out all his matches with Okada. They're all rated as like 5+ stars by Dave Meltzer. So yeah, they're pretty good.
What do you ask this? What do you think about? Because when I was a kid growing up, once you hit the finisher, it was like that was it. Now I've seen like Brock Lesnar hit like Roman Reigns with like 4 F5s, and then
and Roman still gets that.
Yeah, and then they'll do the same thing. He'll spear Brock Lesnar and give him the Superman punch like 7 times.
I think that's like the stupidest move ever, Superman punch. Honestly, like just
Eduardo, get him. Nobody talks about Roman Reigns in this show. No, I'm just kidding. No,
honest truth.
I don't know. Yeah, no, I feel honestly. I don't know why. I don't know why they're still pushing Roman. I mean, they really, I guess, want Roman Reigns to take off as the new face of the company. But
I mean, he gets booed. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I did like Roman Reigns to a point.
I liked him
in the Shield.
Yeah, I liked him when he was in the Shield and he didn't say anything. Where everybody else did the talking, and then he would be like, "What do you think about that?" And he's like, "That's whatever." What was his phrase?
His promos are fucking garbage.
That's how the cookie crumbles, or whatever he used to say. That's real. That's damn real.
And now he's all like, "I'm the big dog."
He can't do a promo to save his life. That's why he needs someone like Paul Heyman to kind of help him do all his promos and stuff.
And he's got weird nostrils.
But I mean, look at his family line. He's gonna be like everybody else, hard-headed as shit. Rock was hard-headed as shit back in the day, but he always entertained people. He always pushed people to watch his promos. He had that charisma, but he came from a family line. His grandpa and then his dad, both amazing, legendary wrestlers. But I mean, now it's just like, why? Like, I have never seen anyone do a good promo anymore. I think the only one that came close to was Bray Wyatt.
Oh, like
yeah.
Recently?
His like with Bray Wyatt, there was like I was 50-50. Sometimes I would listen to him like, oh, that was kind of cool, but then sometimes I'm like, the fuck does that mean, you know?
Or when he always sang that song, as like, I got the whole world in my hands.
Well, sometimes like when he would start talking about something and it would legitimately be creepy and it would, okay, that pertains to this wrestler or to this, I get it. And then sometimes he would just go off and be like, you know, and the trees on the hill are gonna sway to the music of the Wild Family. And then I'm like, what the fuck you talking about? I think, or whatever. Just like,
I think Miz does good promos.
Yeah.
Miz, Dolph Ziggler, they all do good promos. People from NXT.
I came to play.
Adam Cole does good promos. That whole Undisputed Era. I like that shit.
All right. Okay. I mean, we talked about wrestlers that we liked.
Okay, so now let's talk about who's your real quick. Who's your favorite manager? It could be a valet, like Macho Man had Elizabeth. You know, technically wasn't a manager; she was more just like a valet, which they just walk him to the ring.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got like, you know, mine is Bobby the Brain Heenan. You know, he's the best. So I don't know.
Paul Heyman, hands down. He has one of the best promos out there, and plus he just has a mind for the business. He's always had the mind for the business. Like, he knows what's a good booking and what's not. And
he always had like
his association with Brock Lesnar. It just makes him like
that much cooler.
Yeah,
I think like most people want him to be their manager because of Brock Lesnar in general, and I'm not gonna disagree. I mean, like, I love Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman from ECW ruined rolling the whole ECW network. Like, that was pretty fucking cool. I mean, he always had the greatest matches. I'm not gonna lie, ECW had the greatest hardcore matches I ever saw. Tommy Dreamer, Rhino, Dudley Boys, CM Punk, fucking RVD, Sabu. Oh my god, dude, Sabu was fucking fun.
And Tommy Dreamer, if you're ever gonna stop fucking crying.
But my character that I like was the best shit talker ever, and I'm definitely gonna get hate from these two, was Enzo Amore.
Was he a manager? Or?
Yeah,
like he was.
I mean, he was kind of
He was for me, like, he was a cool shit talker because
he couldn't wrestle to save his life. So
we'll
give you that one.
No, I have to go back to like cruiserweight, 2-time cruiserweight champion. He did have some moves, but then again, he did like what everybody else did. They called for backup. I'm not gonna dissipate that.
He's a good heel.
He is, but that whole part when he would come out with big cast, my name is Enzo Amore. I'm a certified G and a bona fide stud, and you can't teach that. Oh. And this is Big Cass, and he's 7 feet tall, and you can't teach that.
I thought you were channeling Cookie Monster.
Cookie. But no, like Enzo Amore.
And there's only one word to describe you, and that I'm gonna spell it out for you. SAWMT. So. Bada boom, realest guys in the room.
How you doing?
And then when he would just say, couple haters.
See, I never liked Enzo Amore because he's just a douchebag. But he's good at being a douchebag.
Yeah, that's sometimes like people hate the Miz, but I'm like, why? Because he's a dickhead. I'm like, well, that's what he gets paid to be. Yeah. You know, like that's the whole point.
That's the whole point of it.
That's why you watch him in a match get his ass kicked by, you know, John Cena or by, you know, Bray or somebody. You want to see his ass kicked because he's talking shit.
I say
they're good at what they do.
The Miz, I'll give credit to the Miz because he is the greatest, cunniest person to get out of any match, and always winning the match, and he was a really good Intercontinental Championship. Like I wouldn't mind the Intercontinental Championship going back to the Miz.
You know, a lot of people
Yeah, I
forget
wouldn't
he was.
mind either.
A lot of people forget he was a world champion.
Yeah, like a lot of people, but also a lot of people forget that him and Johnny Nitro were fucking tag teams. John Morrison.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
No, same guy.
Johnny Mundo,
Johnny Mundo on Lucha Underground now.
Johnny Impact.
Oh, what was he in that movie? What was that?
Marine 5.
No, he was in that something bounty hunter where he's like he plays a bounty hunter.
Johnny Bonahunter.
I forgot what it's called.
Oh yeah.
Oh, speaking of, I was gonna say when you're talking about Shawn Michaels, he's in the new Marine movie. He's in the movie.
Oh yeah, he also came out in another movie. I think it's kind of like a rom-com.
Great kid doesn't lay down for nobody.
But he actually did something. Gavin Stone. Who's Gavin Stone? That's a movie that HBK came out of. He actually promoted on Raw. I think it was at the 25th event anniversary. But I forgot.
Okay. Real quick. I know we're kind of going on long here, but
yeah.
If you could be a wrestler, what would your name and gimmick be?
Come back to me.
I was actually training years back. There was a school in San Antonio where I wanted to be a professional wrestler, but I wasn't in the greatest shape at the time. I thought, I could like use my size as a
basically versatile.
Yeah, and so then go and you realize that you gotta fucking actually like work out, like do a lot of shit, like physical stuff and just running against the ropes. It looks easy on TV, but in real life it's like
a bitch.
Yeah,
because those ropes are really hard.
But I wanted to be the death dealer, and that was my whole thing. Here comes the death, and my shtick or my angle was gonna be that I knew a lot of like pressure points on the body. So like let's say I'm getting my ass kicked, I can go up to like somebody like him, like a real big, and be like, bam, like, oh my god, he can't use his arm. What happened? Oh my god, or like so I can use that to my advantage. Oh my god, he hit him in a and like Michael
Fist of the North Star.
Yeah, like and Michael Cole, and they would be like, oh my god, that's a pressure point. My god, it's a pressure point. He got him, and that'd be the whole. Oh my god, so I could take down
JR.
So I could take down the Great Khali with just like just
You know who I think could do that now? What's his name? Tagashi.
And then
then Steve Blackman.
Still wrestle?
No, not anymore. I think he teaches.
Yeah, and then like I was gonna have like a Dragon Sleeper as my finisher, like a different version of the Dragon Sleeper where they kind of like put their head back and you kind of put them in like a backwards headlock and then you grab their arm and kind of put them to sleep, and that was gonna be my whole thing. Like when I put them in that, they're like helpless because they can't move because I've neutralized them, But yeah, Death Dealer.
Okay, I guess so. Well, yeah, I mean, as a kid, we all wanted to be wrestlers, my cousins and I. It was until like recently I remember why I want like what my wrestling name would be, and honest truth, it would have been Andrew the Mimic Demon Martinez, because I knew that I could mimic people's moves and I could train my body, but I mean, I'm not in the greatest shape. But I mean, how like you've seen those matches where people steal other people's moves right during the match, and you're just like, wow, that's fucking disrespectful. I mean, I don't know how many times I heard JR saying like, that's disrespectful. That's disrespectful.
No. You had to do it right. Oh my god, that's disrespectful there, right there. My god. Or whenever they would do Mick Foley off the cage. Oh my god, he's dead. He's dead.
He did. But I would always want to do that, like mimic someone's move right in the match, just to like throw them off guard. But I always wanted like two finishers. One, because I'm a big fan of this band, Devil Driver was one of them that I want to have. Basically, it was like have a guy and do the same thing as a power bomb, but put their arm over your head and then just lift them up and do a one-hand choke slam over your shoulder and then just bring them down. Like you would have to bring your whole body down with it. The other one would have been like a kind of like a hold, like a submission. But I don't know how I would do it now. I think it wouldn't be like the one-arm chicken wing. It would just be like, oh no, I know it was the guillotine that you see in like MMA, like just holding them up like this and like doing that arch from your back and just like see him tap out like that. That would have been my thing. And honestly, then of course I would have done my own intro music myself. I would be like, "Fuck all y'all bitches, I'm paying for this shit." But yeah, that would be like Andrew the Mimic Demon Martinez, and I felt like that would be a good name to have, and just like that move in general, just like people be like, "What the fuck? Oh my god, no!"
What's his name from Ministry of Darkness? I've been trying to think of his name. The vampire-looking dude.
Vampire.
Gangrel?
No.
Midian?
No, Midian.
Midian?
See, my whole stick would pretty much be Midian, except it would actually be cool. Like,
not the whole.
It was cool at first, like whenever they first debuted him as like kind of like the Undertaker 2.0, pretty much. But they just fucked him over, and the angle didn't work. But my kind of thing would be what his original thing was supposed to be, like some kind of vampire, like gothic kind of guy. And it would borrow some of Undertaker's moves, but like I don't know, just kind of put like a new twist on them. I think that's how I would
kind of just reinvent the moves from the old, and then just put your own stamp on it.
Yeah.
But in honest truth, fans, what if we did get into good shape? What if we did become 3 wrestlers that were actually a triple tag team champions, like fucking New Day and all that? Like, what if we were 3? Would y'all see us? Would you be subscribers on this channel?
Los frijoles de fuego.
I would go with that. And like the Mimic Demon, Death Dealer, all that shit, man.
And what was your
the Reaper?
The Reaper.
The Reaper. And just come out, don't fear the Reaper.
Yeah, that.
But that would be my name, of course. I mean, what else could we do? But what else do we got on the list, man?
Hey, I'm trying to find my theme music real quick.
Speaking of theme music, whose theme do you think is your favorite?
Oh man, that's hard. I would say HBK because that whole song and just him and like his voice. The reason why I love that is his voice is like raspy as shit, and he's all, I have come along, and like just that whole raspiness he has.
And this would be my theme music. I would make.
This is not a song. This is copyrighted.
This is the Queen's Rights in this light. We don't own this, but this is what I would come out to. Like I stand on stage for a while and I like point at the fans and they get them to cheer on this side, run to the other side, be all like, do like a little, like I'm stretching my hands out and stuff, crack the neck a little bit. And then I start making my way to the ring,
See, how I would do my theme music is I would do the old DX, are you ready? But not that. Like some other phrase instead of "Are you ready?"
Mine would probably have to be something from Killswitch because I just like the CM Punk's "This Fire."
Fire Blaze.
This fire burns.
Inside.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That was a really good song.
Actually, I think Cultural Personality.
That was the last one he did.
Yeah, I think that was a good one that he had as an intro. But I kind of, actually, you know what? I kind of like Elias's intro. Like, he was all like, I am Elias. And what does WWE stand for? Walk with Elias. Did you ever see that, like, after WrestleMania? Like, his face is all like. But mine would be like DX intro, but like, get ready to fall. Like, something like that. But like screaming, like, get ready to fall. Something similar to that. But I mean, that's it.
All right. Well, that's the ending of this part of the show. This was obviously dedicated towards wrestling and our love for sports entertainment. I don't know if you can call it.
I think I want to just go say entertainment in general.
Any kind of thing that you do, activity where you sweat and and physical, I think, counts as a sport.
Look, how about this? If you're a kid and back in the early years of your life and you're a wrestling fan and you would jump off the corner of your bed trying to do an arm drop, then you're good. Then we're good.
All right. Well, I'm Jonny Deth.
I'm Majin Drew.
This is Eddie Gein.
Till next time. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Talk to you later, Death Heads. Bullet Club.
That's the nipple club.